Mr. Obama told reporters at the White House he has not made a final decision on how to respond to the evidence that the government of President Bashar al-Assad has used chemical weapons against Syrians, but he made clear the United States will act.
This kind of attack is a challenge to the world. We cannot accept a world where women and children and innocent civilians are gassed on a terrible scale. This kind of attack threatens our national security interests by violating well-established international norms against the use of chemical weapons, by further threatening friends and allies of ours in the region like Israel and Turkey and Jordan, and it increases the risk that chemical weapons will be used in the future and fall into the hands of terrorists who might use them against us.
Earlier Friday, the United States released an unclassified intelligence report which says Syria's chemical attack on August 21st killed 1,429 people, including at least 426 children. The Assad government denies using chemical weapons and accuses the opposition of using them. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said the evidence clearly shows the Assad government was responsible.
We know where the rockets were launched from and at what time. We know where they landed and when. We know rockets came only from regime-controlled areas and went only to opposition-controlled or contested neighborhoods.
Polls show that the majority of Americans oppose U.S. military action in Syria, fearing another Iraq experience where the United States engaged in a long war based on erroneous assumptions that the regime of Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Foreign policy analyst Jeffrey Price at the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies says the evidence of war crimes is much stronger in Syria's case than it was in Iraq in 2003.
Obviously, chemical weapons were used. I think there's very little doubt about that. And there's little doubt that the agency, that the people who used those chemical weapons were the Assad regime. And again, this is not a president who people believe is anxious to engage in military operations in Syria.
Both Kerry and President Obama sought to reassure Americans the country will not be involved in another protracted war as in Iraq. Mr. Obama said he is considering limited, targeted action. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.